Court TV again. God, this channel's terrible. So you typically have some guest speakers on here. This time, Brian Dunn. He is a criminal defense lawyer. His specialty is police brutality in civil rights settings, but whatever the case, at least he's a criminal defense lawyer. And you might think, well, this is great. He's going to come in here and tell us about the law. No. That would make way too much sense. Hello out there. I am trying to get through.
With his powerful brainwaves cradled in the warmth of reasoning, it's time for Johnnie Walker Dredd to straighten you out on a thing or two. Emanating all the way from exciting Las Vegas, Oklahoma, it's the Johnnie Walker Dredd Show.
Without a doubt. We know this one was scheduled to go in March, and that would have been really a record speed. So it's not surprising to me that it's pushed out until November. These parties are going to have a lot of work to do between now and then. Brian, share with us your thoughts on the difficulties that both sides are going to encounter in terms of preparation and then case presentation come November, please.
Well, I have to say, I think that Eric just nailed it. He got all the issues pretty succinctly organized. But we have to look at the broader implications. Obviously, this is not just about a man with a gun shooting another man.
Right. It's about the law, right? And whether it was self-defense, whether the elements of self-defense are there, whether there was provocation, and whether he fled the provocation, and whether he faced serious bodily injury. And that's what it's about, right? No.
How is it that a 17-year-old would somehow think that it is the thing to do to drive a substantial amount of time across state lines, arm himself with a high-powered rifle, and deliberately insert himself into an extremely toxic situation?
Okay, let me translate that for you. Well, first of all, he didn't drive a substantial length of time. He drove about 15 miles. He lived about a mile from the border. As soon as he got out of the parking lot at his apartment complex and drove north, he was practically in Wisconsin. Okay, how many times do we have to tell people that? I even have a video where I got into Kyle's car, I mean, not really, and then drove along with him as he went to Wisconsin. And guess what? It's a short trip. So this argument, again, he's trying to paint this image that Kyle saw these protests and decided, I got to get my gun, got to get in the car, and I'm going to drive across the country here because I need to get to that protest so I can start shooting people. He has bought into this.
There's social discord, there's racial undertones. He ostensibly is there for the purpose of protecting a business.
Ostensibly? No, he was protecting the business. We saw it. It's on video. I mean, there's no ostensibly about it. And the other thing is this idea somehow that, well, it's his fault for inserting himself into a situation where there's a bunch of lunatics running around burning stuff, assaulting people. They're not to blame at all. It's on him because he placed himself around them. This is the old, why did you wear that skimpy dress in that bar argument? This is a lawyer talking.
So you have a person armed with a gun for the purpose of keeping property damage from happening.
Which normally is like a good thing. You know, you take a gun and you defend your property or somebody else's property to keep it from being destroyed. That's called a sense of duty. But if somebody attacks him for doing it, well, he's the bad guy. Yeah, no, I ain't buying that.
He gave himself the moral authority to be out there, and predictably, it had disastrous consequences.
Okay, so let's talk about the moral authority. The last time I looked, that's a emotional argument, but this is a legal case here. You're supposed to be a criminal defense lawyer. You're supposed to talk about the law. And this whole notion somehow about moral authority, as soon as anybody tries to bring up moral authority in court, Judge Schroeder is going to shoot that down. It is not relevant. It is just your personal opinion based on your misguided understanding of who Kyle is. If you're going to bring in a criminal defense lawyer, how about some legal analysis?
So when we start really looking at what happened in this case, why he was there in the first place is really one of the things that we're going to have to wrap our arms around.
I don't even think it's relevant, and I don't think Judge Schroeder will allow it. Unless you can show that his reason for being there was to antagonize people into attacking him so he could shoot them, fine. At that point, you can introduce evidence linked to that. Good luck with that. You don't have probable cause evidence of that. You have nothing. We know why he was there. He was there to defend property and deliver medical aid. He is shown on video doing both of those things. And there are plenty of instances where he could have escalated a confrontation to violence, and he chose not to. There is not one shred of anything that he has done on video that indicates that he was there to antagonize people.
There is a video. He's not going to be able to get away scot-free, but when you see him crying in the interrogation room, and you see him sobbing and his mother is holding his back, he now is understanding the impact of what he did.
If you're going to come in as a lawyer, a criminal defense lawyer, and you're going to make a claim that he's not going to be able to get off scot-free, then why don't you tell us which crimes you think he's going to be convicted of? I mean, anybody can claim, well, he's not going to get away with everything. What the hell kind of argument is that? If I'm looking for that kind of legal analysis, I can get that down at the local bus stop.
He now is understanding the impact of what he did.
Yeah, he shot somebody. Yeah, I would expect him to probably be pretty shook up on it. Okay.
And the idea that, yes, he's probably a very person with far-right leanings, and he's doing the things he believes he's supposed to.
Where in the hell is he getting this?
Now he's in there all by himself. None of the supporters, none of the people that he was interacting with on the internet are with him. None of the politicians are with him. He's in there by himself facing the reality. And that's what really makes this sad for the whole.
Okay, so this is political. He cannot see this as an example of a person defending himself or not defending himself, depending on your viewpoint. That's fine. But that's what the controversy is. Did he act legally in self-defense? And this guy, it's all about the politics. He's going to bring up the politics. All these politicians, you know who he's talking about. It's Donald Trump. All those far-right people. See, again, this is all about the politics and not about the law, evidently, because he never spoke about the law a single time. You show me any point in here where he mentioned anything about whether his self-defense claim was justified or not. I don't know. I'm tired of it. The local bus stop, Court TV, go on down there. There's plenty of people that you can pick up and drag into your studio and jabber all you want. Like my video, subscribe to my channel.